So a lot of people have been asking me how to say I love you in Japanese. So this is how you say it. 愛してるよ means I love you. So this is a pretty strong expression of love. Like you should only use it if you really intensely and passionately love someone. 愛してるよ. はじめまして is a phrase you would use when you're meeting someone for the first time. You would generally only use it if it's your first time meeting that person. Unless, of course, you have short-term memory loss. For example, there are a few different ways to introduce yourself in Japanese, and one of the most common is to say, はじめまして, your name, と言います. For example, はじめまして、アンディと言います. And you're watching Disney Channel. Na 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 na. Today's Japanese word is nuigurumi, which means stuffed animal. Why, you might ask? Well, because I just found this Pokeball that I bought last summer in Japan that I totally forgot to open. Oh, it's all mirrored, but right here it says puchi nuigurumi, and puchi just means small. So it looks like I'll get one of these 10 Pokemon. I know it's kind of hard to see. Also, I just realized that Umbreon's name in Japanese is Buraki. So come back in 24 hours and see what... Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's open it right now. Okay, let's just get this tape off. This is why you don't bite your nails, kids. Oh, you can just push the middle, just like a real Pokeball. Okay, time for the big reveal. It's a Wooloo! Boku no blank means my blank. Why does this sound dirty? Usually only boys use boku to refer to themselves, so if you're a girl, you can use atashi. Or you can use whatever your heart desires. This is 2020. I'm not here to judge. Again, if you don't know the Japanese word for something, just say it in English with a Japanese accent and half the time you'll be right. For example, 僕のティッシュ、僕のバックパック、僕のテープ、僕のワイフ. If you want to compliment a Japanese person, there's one thing you shouldn't say. 今日はかわいい. 今日 means today. And if you don't already know what kawaii means, I'm surprised you're still watching this video. So the reason why this can get you in trouble is because the wa in the middle emphasizes the kyo, or today. So basically what you'd be saying is, today you look cute, but other days you don't. What you should say instead is, 今日もかわいい. The mo in the middle means also. Now you can finally compliment that cute Japanese girl or guy, assuming you have social interaction with people. ちょっと待って means wait a moment. Originally, I wanted to do that trend where you play that part in Uptown Funk that's like, stop, wait a minute, and then you freeze for a while. But then I realized that I don't have any cute pets or a significant other to do that trend with, so... ちょっと待って while I go cry in a corner. I'm gonna teach you guys how to play hide and seek in Japanese. So just like in normal hide and seek, the person who's it counts while everyone else hides. By the way, the person who's it is called Oni. Yes, the demon. So after the person who's it is done counting, they'll say, もういいかい? And the people hiding, if they're not ready yet, they'll say, まだだよ. Or, if they're ready, they'll say, もういいよ. Lastly, I found you in Japanese is 見つけた. For example, 8、9、10. もういいかい?
まだだよ。
もういいかい?
もういいよ。
見つけた. Thank you in Japanese is ありがとう. If you want to say you're welcome, it's どういたしまして. And if that's too hard to say, you can just say, don't touch my mustache, which is close enough. I just got off work. Usually in a situation like this, you would say, お疲れ様です, which means, thanks for the hard work. By the way, did you guys know there's a word in Japanese that literally means working yourself to death? It's called karoshi. There are so many people in Japan who work themselves so much until they die that there's a word for it. So if I don't upload tomorrow, you know why. Delicious, yabai. Exhausting, yabai. Busy, yabai. Sleepy, yabai. Hot, yabai. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Yabai. When you enter someone else's home in Japan, you would say お邪魔します. For example, お邪魔します. Oh. Oh. So a lot of Japanese people do this cute thing where if a word's too long, they'll make these shorter abbreviations for it. Take Super Smash Bros. Characters, for example. They might call Pokemon Trainer Poketore, or Ice Climber Aikura, Dr. Mario Dokumari, Black Pit Burapi, Rosetta and Chico Rosechi. I'm gonna teach you guys how to say the months in Japanese. So saying the months in Japanese is pretty easy if you already know how to count to 12. Basically, you would just say the number of the month and then add gatsu. For example, January would be 1月. Hey, do you want to play True Truths and a Lie?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first.
Okay.
2月、3月、4月。
Wait, what? One of the most important phrases you need to know when visiting a foreign country is, where is the bathroom? In Japanese, it's トイレはどこですか? You can apply this pattern to anything else that you're looking for. For example, 駅はどこですか? 鍵はどこですか? パパはどこですか? So back when I was living in Japan, I would hear people use the word fetchy a lot. When I asked my friend what fetchy meant, he just said it means you really, really like something. So I really, really like seals. If you can't tell. Seal in Japanese, by the way, is azarashi. So I'd be going around saying azarashi fetchy. Like, yeah, I really like seals. Well, it turns out fetchy comes from the English word fetish. I've been telling people that I have a seal fetish. I recently binged an anime called Tsuki ga Kirei, which means the moon is beautiful. The show explains that Tsuki ga Kirei is another way of saying I love you in old Japanese literature. And then it hit me. So here's a quick Japanese hack for you guys. In Japanese, there's a series of words called ko-so-a-do words. Ko means close to the speaker, so means close to the listener, and a means far away from both of you, and do means which or what. For example, kore means the object close to me, sore means the object close to you, and are means the object far away from both of us. Dore means which object. Another example, koko means here, soko means there, asoko means over there, and doko means where. Let me know in the comments if you know any other examples. Also, I created some merch on Teespring, so please check it out. When Japanese people come home, they say tadaima. For example, look mom, I won the lottery. Sugoi! Tadaima. Did you guys know that in Japan, if you're working and someone tries to rob the store, you're supposed to throw a giant paintball at them?
今日も地味にストーカーしてしまったわ。ついいつも同じの買っちゃうのよね。ありがとうございました。じゃあ、くしゃくしゃさっせー。お、なんすか今の。お客様、大丈夫ですか？
This is how you say warm in Japanese. 暖かい、暖かくない、暖かかった、暖かくなかった、ラタタタ。 For those of you studying Japanese hiragana, I have a fun little trick you can do. He, no, he, no, mo, he, ji. Face in Japanese is kao. Holy cow, look at his face! Here's a quick Japanese lesson. If your friend is sick, you can say odaiji ni, which means take care or get well soon. Depending on what they have, you could also say go shūshō sama desu, which means my condolences. Elephant in Japanese is zo-san. Zo-san. Cherry blossoms in Japanese is sakura. The other day, someone was posting pictures of cherry blossoms on Hellotalk, and it made me want to go to Japan so bad. For those of you who don't know, Hellotalk is a place where you can practice a foreign language with actual native speakers. The cool thing about Hellotalk is you're practicing your Japanese with actual people. There's also a translation tool so you can translate any text into English. You can even get feedback and error correction on your posts, which is awesome. Since a lot of you guys have been asking me of good places to study Japanese, I would definitely check out Hellotalk. It's free and it's awesome. In the meantime, I'm going to contact one of my language partners, Mi. She said specifically that she's not looking for any love, which is perfect because I haven't felt love in years. Some people have been asking me to go over how to say body parts in Japanese, but they didn't say specifically which ones they wanted to know, so I'm just gonna go over the ones that I think are the most important. The first one is jinchu. It's basically that little ridgy part between your nose and your mouth. This one is so important, like Japanese people say this every day. The next one is jiju, which is that little flappy part on your ear. I don't even know why I'm going over this. This is a basics. You probably already knew how to say this. The last one is mokon, which is that little white tip at the end of your hair. Like, you wouldn't survive a day in Japan without knowing this word. Someone asked me to go over how to say flowers in Japanese, which is perfect because I spent over 14 hours yesterday crossbreeding flowers in Animal Crossing. The first one is panji, which means pansies. The next one is kiku, which means mums. I finally figured out how to make green mums today, so that's what I'll be working on. These are my yuri, which means lilies. Bara means rose. All of my other roses are somewhere else because I'm still working on getting the blue ones. Here we've got anemone, which means windflowers. Then we've got hyashinsu, which means hyacinths, one of my favorites. Then kosmosu, which means cosmos. Lastly, we've got tulip, which are the native flowers on my island. Instabae means Instagram worthy. Since I can't leave the house, here's a quick tour of my Animal Crossing island. First, we've got the entrance, perfect for Instabae. Next, we've got the entrance to our museum, which is another hot Instabae spot. We can also take this path and cut through the playground to get to the Able Sisters shop. The Able Sisters shop also acts as the entrance to my flower park. When you enter the park, you'll see my favorite Instabae spot on the island, which is, wait for it, the lighthouse. The flower park also has a little date spot, a rose garden, a waterfall path area thing, and a little amusement park. That is it. Thank you for watching. Monkey in Japanese is saru. There's a Japanese proverb that says, saru mo ki kara ochiru, which means even monkeys fall from trees. Basically what it means is even if you're really good at something or if you're a professional, you still make mistakes. For example, sometimes I choke on my own spit, even though I've been breathing my whole life. Or I trip when there's nothing there, even though I've been walking my whole life. 猿も木から落ちる